Hello, welcome to my job facilitation. My name is Myriam Linda. We have been speaking together quite a lot while I was speaking to you, and I'm really happy that you're still here. I hope you subscribed and you put a like, and voila, I thank you very much for doing it, and I hope you're happy. So today we are going to speak about yes, we are going to speak about something that is really strange. Most of the young people, especially in Africa, used to say, well, there is no job here. There is no job opportunity. That is really what I encounter when I go to a seminar and I do a seminar on work, on job opportunity, when I help people making their resume. Most of the time they say to me, well, why should I do that? Because anyway, there is no job. There is no job in Africa. There is no job in my country. So usually what happens is that I have arguments, and I'm going to give you all the arguments that I have. And most of the time it's in Congo because I didn't have a seminar conference yet outside of Congo, but I have like WhatsApp groups, employment groups. So I have Senegal, Benin, Ivory Coast, Centrafrique, Cameroon, sorry. Oh, I forgot I have Burkina Faso. Did I say Benin? I have Tunisia. I think, and I have Congo, of course. I have different groups in Congo. So what happened is that those young people in Congo, they say, well, anyway, there is no job. And I was on Twitter. My Twitter is at Linda, but it's in French. I might sometimes respond in English, but if you want to get in touch with me quite easily, you can also connect with me on Twitter. And so someone said today, well, you know, you're speaking about things and you live there and you come here in Congo sometimes to do seminar. Which job are you speaking about? There is no job. Fortunately for me, right today, someone sent me like a very good message saying, oh, you're a top motivator, top coach. I followed your instruction on the WhatsApp group and I found a job in December. So I was like, woof, that is the right time to speak to this other person. And in fact, I'm going to tell you something that usually I say to the people that tell me there is no job in Africa. And I'm going to give you the example of DRC. I would like you to imagine all the questioning and the answers that you would give if those questions and those answers had to be in your town, in your country, if you are in Africa. And if you are not in Africa, well, I think it can apply for any country. But for the moment, let us be clear. Africa has the growth rate that surpass most of the Occidental countries. So you cannot have a growth rate that is higher than in Occidental countries and not hire more people. So this would be dysfunctional. Some other people would say, oh, well, it's mining. It's not true. It's not mining. Most of those mining companies have contracts between them. It's a group. Most of those mining companies don't recruit locally. For example, in DRC, most of the people that work in mines in big companies are from South Africa, from other countries, for all kind of reasons. So you have people that are in mines, young people that are in mines, and they are not well paid because they are not in the company. And you know the situation we have in DRC. And then on the other side, you have big companies, big mining companies, but they are not really recruiting Congolese people. They are recruiting. So even if there is no crisis, the fact is that most of the people that are paid on those companies are not Congolese. But even though that, there is a growth rate. So, oh no, there is no growth rate. What are you speaking about? There is no growth rate and there is no job. And they would say there is no job. You cannot find a job because there is no job. You cannot find a job because you need to know someone. You cannot find a job because you have to corrupt. You cannot find a job because there is so many reasons. So this time, let's speak about you cannot find a job because there is no job. Okay, I'm going to give you the example of DRC. I've been living in DRC for 11 years. I had been living in DRC for 11 years, and during that time, I noticed that there was really an economic growth, and you could see it. So when I was like speaking with those young people, I was saying, okay, you're saying there is no job. Okay, let's take and do that for the country where you are for the moment. Let's take you are in the capital. Let's imagine that you are in the capital. If you are in the capital, let's take the principal street from the airport till downtown, till one of the high place, you know, the residential place. So if you take that situation in Congo, for example, you have the airport, which is in Masina, and then you have a big boulevard, and then you arrive nearby Limité. You have Boulevard Lumumba. You arrive by Limité. You go, and it's like a residential part, and then the industrial part, commercial part in Limité, and then you go down, you pass other kind of councils, and then you arrive in Gombe. Gombe is really the center, is the downtown. All the administrative the ministries and the administrative places are there. The headquarters usually of the multinationals and companies of Congo are in Kinshasa, in Gombe. And then all the embassies, the foreigners' embassies are in Gombe. Most of the certain universities, certain schools, like private schools, are in Gombe. And then after, so you have the Boulevard du 30 Juin, the 30 June Boulevard, the Boulevard of Independence, if we can say. But so you cross and you go to another residential place, and so this is the straight. It's not a straight line, so but it's really like a long street where you can see if there has been creating a job. So imagine a long street a long boulevard that you could draw from one place to another, straight in your country, in your capital, in your city, if you are in Africa. Okay, if you are not in Africa, I can say that today Ireland cannot say there is no job. An Irish person cannot say there is no job. In 15 years in Ireland, there was no highways. Well, there was perhaps one highway and not a lot of streets and stuff like that. And in 15 years, there have been a job creation in Ireland, so that even foreigners come to have a job. So my last job was in Ireland, actually. I was working for Xerox. And because of my French and my Flemish. So voila. So you imagine if you're somewhere in Africa, and it might apply for Asia, it might apply for a Latin country, it might apply for, if you're in the United States, is just look somewhere, just look. And so you can analyze to see if there are jobs or if there are not jobs. So what happened in that boulevard from the airport till this other residential way? I was like saying to those people, okay, let's imagine how many hostels, how many motels, how many bed and breakfasts have been built in that way. And if you take the situation of Congo, in Kinshasa, you have tons and tons and tons of flat hotels, that have been built. They have been built by foreigner people, they have been built by MONUSCO people, they have been built by Lebanon people, Indian people, European people, but they have been built by Congolese also. Women that are in commerce, in trade and informal trades, and instead of putting the money in the bank, they're putting the money to build and build and build. And you have the diaspora that comes back and they'd rather not live perhaps with the family, they'd rather go to the hotel because then it's like a vacation and it's easier, let's say, for someone that didn't come for 10 years in the family to keep their stuff and so on, and to receive people in a comfort that they want to have, or because they want to feel like they go on holiday, you know. But also you have, in the case of Congo, but I don't know what is the case of your country, but you have planes that come every day. There is at least one air flight company that comes. So Air France comes, Brussels Airlines comes, Kenyan Airways comes, Turkish Airlines, Royal Air Maroc, I think Lufthansa. Now you have Rwanda Airlines. You have like in between, you have Ethiopian Airlines that comes also. So it's in between 7 to 10 companies that comes, and sometimes they come, you have 2 planes per day. And when you speak with people, the planes are full. So what do those people come to search in Congo? What do they come to do in Congo? So those companies bring people, and those people, they sleep in hotels. And because more and more planes come in Kinshasa, so more and more motels and hotels are built. So I would say that you have the Pullman Ibis Hotel, you have a hotel, a river hotel that was like Chinese and now it become I don't know what, and you have Léon Hotel, which are people from Brazzaville. They have a hotel in Brazzaville and they built a hotel in Kinshasa. You have Hilton that just brought out. You have Sultani Hotel, which is a Congolese hotel. They have 2 hotels now. You have Lydia Hotel. He has, I think, 3-4 hotels. He's a Congolese, and it's like hotels where foreign people come. And you have so many hotels and motels and people, tourist people, business people come, and you have events that are organized in those hotels. So I'm telling those people, okay, when I arrived in 2003, there was no hotel. There was like creepy hotels, old hotels, and that's it, that's all. Now you have a lot of hotels. So tell me, who go and work in those hotels? Is it dead people, zombie people, ghost people? Okay, so when I speak like that with those young people, they start waking up, because I say, okay, this hotel was not in your street, it was not in your community, in your city council, it was not in your council, it was not over there 5 years ago, was it? Oh no. So jobs have been created in that hotel, in that flat hotel, in this, yes. So how can you say that there is no job? No, but I haven't. Did you, like, when they were constructing this hotel, did you go there and say, what are you doing? I'm searching for a job. Here is my resume. So there was job for those who came to present themselves. But for you, there was not, because you didn't go. So what we have also in the RC, we have a lot of groceries, of malls. We have a lot of groceries and malls and big departments, like department stores. So that situation, like we didn't have the ones that we had from the period of Zaire were closed. So it was like small groceries. There was perhaps one supermarket and so on. But now tons and tons and tons of supermarket. Like now today, to go to a mall or a supermarket is something like really common in Kinshasa. And so, and you have in those supermarkets, you have different shops. Like you have the supermarket, okay, so it's one shop. But sometimes this supermarket has a pharmacy, has I don't know, another shop nearby, and so it's like a supermarket. And you have other malls with a lot of shops inside. You see, those shops, supermarket, groceries. You have chains of groceries of Indian, Lebanon. You have South African. You have Turkish. You have Congolese. So the Congolese supermarket is, for example, Super Michael. It's like King Food. It's like Alimentation Gigi. It's like you had the Pelou Star, but I think they closed. You have no, Pelou Star is still, but it has another name. So you have different Congolese people that created, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4 supermarkets. So that means that there is money in Kinshasa. And that means that people go and buy, but that means also that those supermarkets, they need to serve someone. And when you go in the supermarket, you have the butcher part, you have the bread part, and you have the part with the furniture, and you have the part with food, and the part with the papers, and so on. So it's big, and so they need to have people to work. So again, are they zombie? Is it ghost people? Is it that Chinese people are? You have the Chinese groceries also and supermarkets. So you're like, or asking yourself, and I'm telling them, okay, was those supermarkets 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you were young, did you have this kind of, no, madam, we didn't have that. We couldn't even think that we could go into a supermarket like that. So how come you say there is no job? You know, just because you want to say there is no job, there is no job, there is no job. So you are convinced there is no job. But let's speak about it like a business person, okay? When you come to Congo, you come to Kinshasa, you think that it's like this, I don't know, when people speak, it's like the desert, it's nothing and so on. But didn't you see that they were building this supermarket and now they're selling and now people are coming and buying? Yes. And those people who work there, they what? They're not Congolese, they're zombie, so there is job. Oh yes, there is a job. Okay, let's take another example, the numbers of clinics, the numbers of hospitals, many clinics, many hospitals. So you have our brother Mutombo-Dikembe, who is a basketballer and decided to invest and did his big medical hospital with different departments. And you have like Chinese, they came also, you have other establishment, but and I know also a lady that has her own small clinic, and you have Dr. Buntuku that has the clinic. There you have Dr. Nyakabasa that has a clinic, a small hospital. You have so many, Sulu that has also a clinic. So you have Congolese people that build up clinics, hospitals. Okay, so the nurses, the surgeon, the doctors, the ambulance that work over there, it's jobs. Okay, so I'm telling them, don't you see those big hospitals that were built by Congolese people and by foreign people so the people work there, the zombie, the ghost, I don't know, are they all foreigners? I think in the Chinese hotel, yes, it's foreigner people, but there, so just taking the example of Kinshasa and saying there is no job, no. There is no job. Okay, I give another example and follow my example also. How many private universities have been created in your country, in your city council, nearby your place? In Congo, just in Kinshasa, so many universities, private universities have been created, and it's not like the former universities got bankrupt. No, there's so many students. And they pay the fees. and it's growing, and the classes, the auditorium are so full, packed. But you still have other universities that open. Okay, so you have, for example, EZIPA. EZIPA didn't exist. It's a Congolese guy that studied in computing science. He became a teacher in one of the conventional universities, and he felt that the expertise that he wanted to give was not over there, that he couldn't do the way he wanted, so he created EZIPA. He's well recognized by Microsoft. He's a Congolese, and now I think there is 5 or 6 EZIPA, and not only in Kinshasa, there is in Bakongo, in another province of Congo, and I think in the east also he has done or is building. So when someone say, oh, there is no Bell Campus, is a private university created by Congolese people. You have university, Reverend Kim is like a Korean that built schools, private schools, a lot of private schools where people come and pay and put their children. So the teachers and the professors of university, are they from outside? No, they're Congolese. They paid, they're working. So when I say to these young people, look at the number of universities, private school. Molimas is a Congolese school created by Congolese to learn the language, learn English, learn French, learn Flemish, learn Portuguese, learn created in Kasavovo, Matonge, for young Congolese to learn languages. So you have a computer school, the Canadian and Congolese university. You have so many universities that have been created. There is another university of management that was created also by a Congolese. So you have a French university with Mrs. Ikolo, another Congolese, with a French system where they come and people can study master, and they work and they can study and things like that. So when you speak to Congolese people about that, they start looking differently and they start thinking, oh my God, yes, there have been jobs created. It's just that I didn't realize. I'm just repeating, there is no job, there is no job, there is no job, there is job. I give you another example. Banks. When I arrived in 2003, there was perhaps 4 or 5 banks. And then we went to 15 banks. And those banks, they just had headquarters in really downtown, and perhaps another headquarter in the mining capital, and perhaps in the east, because the east was like our food warehouse, or but they didn't have like little banks in each city council and in each place nearby a school or nearby a business center. But now we have like more than 15 banks, African banks, foreign banks. Well, when I say foreign, non-African banks. We have Eco Bank, we have Equity Bank, we have Afriland Bank, we have UBA Bank, we had Congolese people that did bank books. There was a problem with the banking and the political system, so it's really difficult when the political system comes to kill your bank. But anyway, we will speak to that about this kind of factor another time. But okay, 15 banks and more in the DRC, and strangely, on the contrary of the usual traditional banks of Congo, those banks came, opened a headquarter, and started opening a little bank in each city council, in each little place where there was a business center, with a how do you say, the card, like the debit card, the debit point, where the cash point, where you can, oh my God, that was a relief. And I said, but don't you see, was there a bank in your city council? Did you have a bank nearby your university, nearby your home, nearby, I don't know, the business center where you were going? No, we didn't have the bank. So How can you say that there is no job in DRC, there is no job in Kinshasa, when you see that one bank comes and this bank in Kinshasa opens at least one in another little bank in each city council. So one bank comes, a new bank, and open 20, I think it's 25 city councils, or 26 or 24, I don't know anymore. So let's say it's 26 by 15. Because when one opened a bank, the other one, they say, oh, you opened the bank over there, so there is money over there. So you have this bank and the other bank and the other bank. And all those banks, it's not with ghosts, it's not with zombies. Okay? So I can go on and go on and go on. What you hear is not what you see. The problem is that when you hear, even if you see, you don't see, because you hear what people say. And so the situation is that when I speak with people and they ask themselves the right, then they see what is happening and they just realize that, oh yes, there are job opportunities. It's just that I didn't present myself, and I will close down this issue about there is no job in my country, there is no job in Africa, there is no job in my capital. Voila, these are the questions that you can have and the answers that you can seek to see, is there a job? This is things that can show you if the economic activity is okay. So you have that school, technical school that train people to work in restaurant, hotel and catering. And I went there to do a conference in Kinshasa, downtown, 5 minutes from the main street, Boulevard du 30 Juin, Boulevard of the 30 June, so the head of this school tells me, oh, you know, it's really difficult after the conference for our kids. There is no job, there is no this. And I say, how come you say there is no job? Didn't you see on your boulevard since 2003? This hotel, this restaurant, this da-da-da, this da-da-da, this da-da-da. It surpassed the number of students that you have in your hotel, restaurant, catering per year. They could have been hired over there. You're telling me they are not hired over there? No, they don't find a job. I say, but do you train them to go and find a job and go there? And do they have their training over there? Yes, they have their internship, academic internship over there. So when I know a lot of people in those restaurants and in those companies in Kinshasa. So I was speaking one day with someone that knows everybody in the hotelry, restaurant, catering, and I said, how come this school? Do you know this school? Yes, we take the young people in training, but those young people don't have the right attitudes. They come and they do their training at the end of their course, and they think because they have the diploma they know or everything. And this school is very old. The courses are 10 years and 20 years old. They don't know which thing are in the kitchen. It's no more the same kitchen today, but the courses are not renewed. And these young people, they have attitude, because when you, the boss of the restaurant, of the hotel, you say, no, it's like this, it's like that, that young guy, that young woman is going to say, but I didn't study like that. It's like me, I have a diploma, I didn't study. So they are not open to learn more when they start working. So we'd rather have someone that didn't study in hotelry, catering and restaurant, so that we can train them to be with our customers the way we want them to be. And we don't want to have people with conflicts. So this is why we are reluctant to hire people coming from that school. So voila, sometimes the problem is not that there is no job. The problem is just that you don't see with the eyes. When you see someone constructing a building, you don't come to say, what is going to be here? Oh, it's going to be a hotel. How many rooms? So you can calculate. If it's a hotel, they need an accountant. They need people to clean. They need people for the service. They need waiters. They need it. They need. So you should be waiting in front of, with your resume saying, when you are going to start the activity, please take me. But you don't do that, and when it's built, you forget that it was built when you were searching for a job, and you're still searching for a job, and then you say, it's their fault, there is no job. No. You don't develop all the time the right activities. So if you are in a capital, if you are in a city where the situation is like that, you should change your attitude and learn how to find a job. Thank you for following me. Be blessed, subscribe, make a like, and I hope I see you next time.